So, legendary director Francis Ford Coppola made his comeback with Megalopolis, his decades-in-the-making passion project. The self-financed $120 million modern-day Roman epic is something to behold. I mean, I think we can all appreciate Coppola's effort. The fact that it's such a ballsy thing to do, selling off half your winery and making an epic film all by yourself, bypassing the studio system. The only problem was that the film itself, as we talked about in more detail in my review, was a mess, devoid of filmmaking basics, and it was a picture which heavily implied that Coppola has long gone insane. So he came back into the fold, gave us the confusing Megalopolis, which tanked massively and then disappears back into the abyss. Not so, however, as the 85-year-old Coppola is actually set to start work on not just one but two new movies. In fact, he talked about them a few months before the release of Megalopolis, denying he's set to retire and saying, "No, I'm working on two potential projects right now. One is a regular sort of movie that I'd like someone to finance and make in England, because I don't have a big history with my wife in England. Everywhere else I go, I'm reminded of her all the time. The other is called Distant Vision, which is the story of 3 generations of an Italian-American family like mine, but fictionalized, during which the phenomenon of television was invented. I would finance it with whatever Megalopolis does. I want to do another roll of the dice with that one." I mean, Megalopolis hasn't made money, so whether that means Distant Visions is still on the cards or not remains to be seen. His first project is called Glimpses of the Moon, adapted from Edith Wharton's 1922 novel of the same name. Wharton, best known for works like The Age of Innocence, which Coppola contemporary Martin Scorsese adapted in the 90s, is celebrated for her sharp social commentary and exploration of love and ambition within upper-class society. Coppola's adaptation will explore themes of romance, class dynamic, and moral compromise through the lens of a pair of newlyweds navigating high society in the roaring 20s. Wharton's story focuses on a shrewd duo who make a plan to marry each other and spend a year or so sponging off their wealthy friends, attempting to use their charm and wit to sustain an extravagant lifestyle they cannot afford, leading to complex relationships and emotional reckoning. Coppola recently said that after the winter holidays he'll move to London and begin production on Glimpses of the Moon. He has also described it as a strange 30s style musical and added that "I've turned it into a very odd confection, and it will have strong dance and musical elements." He also stated that Glimpses was funded the conventional way with the help of national subsidies because I'm all borrowed out, and that it won't be cheap by any means, but unlike Megalopolis, it won't be an epic. After Glimpses, Coppola does plan to make an epic, as he wants to begin work on his final film, called Distant Vision, a film that he's described as more ambitious than Megalopolis, adding that the last one will be immense. He has said that he is still grasping the film, but he did give some details, saying that it will be shot entirely live and it will be much harder to make than Megalopolis. He workshopped the project in 2015 as a live cinema performance piece, produced over 3 weeks, and claims to be pioneering a brand new art form with this movie. So what are your thoughts on this? I mean, Megalopolis was unhinged, and Coppola's few movies before that, like Twixt and Youth Without Youth, don't have high ratings. I doubt most people are even aware of these films. You'd have to go back to the 90s, like 30 years ago, for mainstream critically acclaimed Coppola films like The Rainmaker and Dracula. So, like with Megalopolis, it's not crazy to suggest that these films might end up being bonkers endeavours. But you know what? More power to him, I'd say. He's got more creative spirit than many filmmakers half his age. To be in his mid-80s and wanting to create a brand new art form, whether he will get close to doing anything like that or not, is pretty cool. He just needs to lay off the weed, as it was evident, not just from set stories, that he was stoned out of his mind making Megalopolis. I mean, I know he's described the Glimpses movie as odd, but it does sound like it could be a fairly straightforward romantic comedy if done right. Maybe he's wanting for this to be more of a mainstream affair so he can fund Distant Visions. And the second film, with the words Italian American, family, and 3 generations, evokes the kind of epic family saga that many associate with Coppola, given the Godfather films. I'm curious about Coppola's new films, if nothing else. I wonder if the thing about Distant Visions being shot entirely live has any link to something Coppola did for the film Twixt, where he wanted to experiment with live editing. If you think him getting an actual person during Megalopolis' premiere to ask the in-movie Adam Driver a question was weird, wait till you hear about this film. Coppola wanted to act as a kind of conductor for every screening of Twixt, lengthening scenes, shortening scenes, even changing entire plot elements of the film depending on the reactions and responses from the audiences. I don't know whether this was just an ambitious choose-your-own-adventure movie, but Coppola had to eventually abandon this idea after it proved impractical, and a single locked version of the film was released. But the guy's got ambition at least. So what do you make of Coppola's plans? Are you looking forward to these 2 movies? Let me know in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.